What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Gruesome Garage. Where Matt's over here playing around with tape, making himself a tape web.
Yep.
And I just finished off my front end, or at least finished off putting it in. We still have a little more to go. So let's get right into it. I want to show you guys everything that I got going on. Let's start from the front, move our way back. Up front here we have rough stuff steering and track bar. And as you can see, I haven't drilled out my pitman arm yet, and I need to weld on a track bar mount. But we'll get to that. Stock Dana 44 I pulled out of a 78 F250 8 lug. I brought it home, gutted it, stripped everything off of it a few years ago, obviously, and went to screwing around. So the first thing I did was I scoured the internet for a truss that would fit a Dana 44, and luckily I came upon the company TNT, and I found out that they make trusses with everything on them already, so you can basically fit it up and weld it right on. This truss, I added some stuff because they have options. The coil bucket usually is up front. I pushed the coil bucket back 3 inches, so it pushed the axle up 3 inches. That's why my control arms are a little funky. And I have just enough room, as you guys can see, for my steering link. Works just fine. And just enough room in between the coil and this for my track bar link too. But back to the truss. Made it super simple. It came with the coil plates already on it, came with the 2 upper control arm mounts, and it came with the track bar mount already welded onto the truss. So all I did was measure it up with the pinion angle I wanted and tacked it on, and then it even has little notch out slots for the lower control arm mounts right underneath. And so you basically kind of know where your lowers are. You're obviously going to measure, but it was honestly super easy, and it turned out absolutely great. But after the first trip, I learned the main weak point of Dana 44s, and that are the axle shafts. They're pretty small. Pretty sure they're the same size as a Cherokee 30, so it's pretty disappointing. But I saved up my pennies and I got some RCVs, and I haven't had a problem since, until my Cherokee actually snapped. My old one snapped the unibody in half by the steering box. I didn't think it was worth fixing. It was pretty trashed already. I was stupid and didn't go with front stiffeners. Now obviously we're having front stiffeners for a reason. Let's move on to, I got a diff cover from Ruff Stuff, and my control arms are Ruff Stuff radius arm kit. So it's just upper lower links welded together, and it comes as tubes and heims and bushings. You cut it, measure it, and stick it on in there. But if you guys are seriously thinking about putting a any axle swap, or even just beefing up your axle, I would highly recommend TNT trusses. They're pretty sweet, and it makes everything so much easier. And I love the simplified look, how it doesn't have this big tall looking monstrous box on top of the axle. It's just a nice stamped out curvaceous truss. So right now, guys, before we get to the front end, the 2 links, the steering and the track bar, I really like to get my axle centering, at least wheelbase centering, done, or at least a good rough estimate. So right now we're about a couple eighths off, like maybe a 1/4 inch off wheelbase wise. This one's sticking out a little farther than that side. So nice thing is we got these adjustable heims under here, and we're gonna pull the bolt out. The nice thing is it's on wheels and it's being held in over there. So you just need a buddy to roll the wheel back and forth to pivot it down and drop that arm for you. Adjust the heim, throw it back in. So let's get at it. We did a little measuring and heim maneuvers, and we got our wheelbase set at 105 3/4 inches. It'll probably go up a little as I put the rear in, but for now it's about 3 inches, or geez, almost 4 inches more than a stock Cherokee in the front, with the coil buckets in the location up here, like I said, with the 3-inch stretch. So, or the 3-inch stretch coil buckets. This, guys, is Ruff Stuff steering. It is the 7/8 heim steering, and we have to drill a 3/4 bolt into the pitman arm because that used to be for tie rod ends, and we don't use those tie rod ends where we're going. So let's get to drilling.
Looks like Jeff finally got through this old pitman arm.
Grease hog though.
Loaded.
Only 3 bits later. Thankfully, the steering link is in. And thankfully, we didn't have to make one. Now, if you were gonna do this and you didn't have it made, what you would do is you'd put the axle in, bolted in with the control arms and the coils and shocks, and you would get that estimate of center. And the good thing about this heim steering stuff is that it has adjustability, so you get your good estimation of how long the link needs to be, and you put it in. Tack it up, see if it works good, adjust it a little, and then we got to get to the track bar. Now that the bar is up and out of the way, you can really see this awesome truss. Like I said, it came with the coil buckets already on it. Came with the track bar mount already welded. The upper links already welded on it. The only thing I added was, it was a box that stopped right here. And I added just some gusseting. I've had this truss for a few years now, but recently we got an awesome chance to actually start working with TNT as part of their Terrain Master program. So if you guys are modifying your Jeeps at all or need any parts, check out TNT. And guess what? You can use a discount code TM08. It'll be in the bottom right of the screen for you guys, and you can use that to get 10% off. So check it out. Now, because of this stretch, if you see, the drag link is not perfectly in line with the tie rod, which is not a problem, but we have to make sure that the track bar is going to work between the pitman arm and the coil. We got another issue. The track bar is too short. Before, I modified an old Iron Rock off-road double shear bracket to fit this Ruff Stuff link, and it put the track bar closer inside. But now that I'm going to be using a Ruff Stuff bracket, it brings it out very far. And even with my heims extended extremely way too far just for mock-up, they're too short. So at least I'm able to figure out where the track bar bracket goes, so it will clear the pitman arm. We can tack that on for now, but we really need to lengthen the track bar. We'll show you guys how we do that. It's a little secret. Some people frown upon it. It's never given us an issue. I got one of them uh-ohs right here. My brother's got a few on his. So,
what's that?
uh-ohs in the Dom. It's, you know, it's just steering, it's just off-road rig, so not a big deal. It works, and we'll show you how to do it. With a little modification of the track bar bracket. It's nice and tight up against our frame, or unibody, whatever you want to call it, and let's get to welding this beast on. Woo! We got the track bar mount tacked in, but as you can see, the track bar fully extended with the heims are still too short. So we cut our tube, we cleaned it off and beveled it. We found ourselves the secret ingredient, a sacrificial socket, and we're gonna stick this in here. Fits perfect. This is an 18 millimeter, fits in perfect, and we are gonna slide that together. I beveled a longer piece of pipe. It's longer than 3 inches, but with the new insert, I like to just put a longer piece on, and then we can put the insert in, measure the final length, and then cut down from there. So let's get at it. Let's burn this thing together. Now that it's all burned together, fused as one again, it's a little longer than we need it to be, like I said before, so we're gonna cut it down to length, put a new heim in the end, or an insert for the heim in the end, and burn that on too. Then we'll have our new track bar. Track bar is back in and looking dandy. You can't even see it because it's basically parallel with the drag link. Now that we know that we have proper clearance for everything, we can burn on the track bar mount. Let's get to burning yet again. Whew, guys, you scared me. Well, I'm just over here admiring the Jeep. It got out of the garage under its own power, and you know, it looks kind of funny like this. Might leave it like this. Just kidding. Sorry guys, I didn't get as far as I wanted to. Thought I was gonna get to the back, but if you tune in next time, you'll definitely get to see it. Also guys, don't forget that if you guys are doing an axle swap soon, or you need any fabrication parts, they have a lot of stuff for Cherokees. Check out TNT and use my discount code TMO8. Now, right now, it's not working on their website, but if you call them and place the order, they'll put the discount code right in for you. Just remember TMO8, and hopefully they should be able to get that back on their website, so it'll work on their website too.